Hi everyone, for today's book review we're going to jump inside a tank, and this specific tank is the T-72 main battle tank. This book, co-written by James Kinnear and Stephen Sewell, continue with Osprey's series of highly detailed volumes exploring every aspect of specific Soviet-era tanks. There's the T-64, T-55, and of course T-72, which, for better or worse, can still be seen on the battlefields to this day. For anyone familiar with the series and with this title, the layout shouldn't be a surprise. The book covers the history around the circumstances and the motivations regarding its design, followed by its entry into service, and then we get successive chapters regarding upgrades, variants, adaptations, and oh my gosh, there's such a plethora of adaptations and revisions of this tank, which you could say is one of the key features of its design, that it is able to be, to a degree, future-proofed in that it can be upgraded and modified and revised so much. There is a chapter on its combat use. To me, it's a little bit slim, but realistically, with a tank such as this that has been produced in so many numbers and has been involved in so many conflicts, you'll probably need a 2 or 3 volume study on all those conflicts. So, in retrospect, but still. We then finish off the book with several appendices and a chapter on all the T-72s that we know of that are preserved. This book continues in the fine tradition of the previous volumes. The beautiful, crisp photos, both color and black and white, are all reproduced on decent, glossy paper that can absorb all the ink required to preserve the crisp details that's needed to show off every centimeter of this tank, particularly during the chapter where there's a walk-through and a walk-around, so that each nut and bolt is described. I don't profess to be a expert on tanks. I'm an enthusiast. The closest I came was riding on top of a Centurion tank a decade and a half ago, and I would recommend anyone who is fascinated with tanks to check out the Workshop Wednesday videos or Tank Chats. Fantastic series of videos on YouTube. In terms of this book, it satisfied everything that I needed, which was information about the history of the tank, its evolution, all the various offshoots that came out of its design, and my interest in this was also its use in combat. And while that chapter was brief, there was enough information there for me to then branch out and bounce off to go and learn more from other sources and other books. So in that sense, it was completely satisfactory. This book is going to appeal to anyone who's fascinated by tanks, who's fascinated by Soviet-era tanks, modelers, because there's photos galore, anyone who is looking to do a novel or a story about experiences of a T-72 tank crew. Well, I mean, look no further. There's more than enough information in this book for you to get all the details that you need. This continues with the Fine series, and it is a 5 out of 5 captain's hats. It is profusely illustrated, wonderfully detailed. The text never feels heavy. There's plenty of detail in there, but it is easy to read. And for those who love tanks, why it's not on your bookshelf yet, you need to ask yourself that. Because on my tank shelf, this joins the other volumes that I have. So for the T-72, do check it out, the main battle tank.